We will be getting started in a couple of minutes. It is 9:28. Good evening. We will be getting started in about 2 minutes. Thank you for coming on. Good evening. Good evening. So glad that you made it on. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. We are about to get started. So glad that you came on. Hey, Brother Chris. Can you see me? Hey. I'm catching this, I think I'm gonna go live on both so that everybody know that I'm on. And we are going to get started. All right. We're right at 9:30. I'm gonna give it about another minute and see who else will join us on tonight. Turn my other camera on. All right. If you can share with somebody, that will be great. I'm going to go live on my regular page as well. Let me just tag a couple of people and we're going to get started. So this is our first night of talking about eradicating poverty in the family. This is our first night of our 30 days. So let me put this on my other page and we're going to get started. That first night always tries to get you, but it is well. All right. So good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm so excited that you have joined me tonight. I am Arthur Serafia Jones Hall, and we are starting 30 days of talking about eradicating the spirit of poverty in the family. And so I welcome you all tonight. I thank you for joining me. We will be on here for the next 30 days from 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And my focus is helping us to remove the stinking thinking, and that we would change our mindsets. And so on tonight, our first topic we're gonna talk about is it starts in the mind. It starts in the mind. So I have some notes that I wrote down, and then I'll also be bringing some information out of my book, which I did share on my event page and on my author's page, that if you want to, you can purchase the book, Eradicate the Spirit of Poverty in Family, because this will be a guide that I will be using as well. And also, we will, somewhere down at the end of this, I will be talking to you about journaling for 21 days. Yes, so we can start breaking off that negative mindset and break off that stinking thinking. All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about, like I said, our first topic tonight is it starts in the mind. See what I did with my glasses? It starts in the mind. I must have dropped them. All right, we're going to do this without the glasses then, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so first we want to talk about, so the title of the book is Eradicate the Spirit of Poverty. So we're eradicating poverty. And so you may be asking, what is poverty? So poverty, it means to destroy. It means to destroy completely. It means to uproot, to dismantle, to do away with, to remove, to pluck up, to annihilate, to squash. This word means so many things: to kill, to liquidate, to extinguish, to expunge, to uproot, to erase. And so that's why I wrote this book. We are going to eradicate poverty in families. And what I learned in my process of writing the book and just prepare myself, it starts in the mind. It starts in our mind. And so what we want to talk about, now that you have the definition, a lot of times, especially depends on your upbringing. It depends on how you were raised, what your atmosphere was like, how was your parents? Were your parents loud? Were they lovable? Or did you hear a lot of words? And did you not only hear these words, but were these words spoken over you? Okay? Words have power. Words transform who we are. Words have power. Okay? And I was on a call earlier today, and you know the old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, that's a lie. Words hurt. Words can kill. Words can rob from you. Words can steal. Words can, the wrong words, they can stagnate us. The wrong words being spoken, we can lose time. We can make very bad decisions because of negative words that may have been spoken in our ear gates, what we have heard, right? And so I wrote this in my book, that many times we miss opportunities, or we struggle with low self-esteem. We struggle with going to apply for a certain type of job. We struggle with going to college, or maybe wanting to move to another state or city because of some words that were spoken over us, right? And so even in my book, I talk about, some words that you hear: you're dumb, you're stupid, you're out of shape, nobody will ever want you, you got too many children, right? You're too old, or you're a woman, or you a black man. It won't happen for you because you a black man, because you a black woman, right? And so words form us. And even so, my book is for anyone, but it is a scriptorial book. There are scriptures in there. And so when we think about the word, when we think about speaking words, the world was created by words. So we know in the beginning, God spoke, right? And so when someone speaks, depending on what they're speaking to us, and depends on what we're speaking to ourselves, of what will manifest, what will come out of that, what the end result will be, right? And sometimes we don't know, okay? Sometimes these words are spoken and they lay dormant for a long time, and then when we go to want to do something, those words come back, okay? So tonight, we're talking about it starts in the mind. We're talking about, this is our first night about our 30-day teaching on eradicating poverty in the family. And so if you just came on, we started out with our first topic tonight. It starts in the mind. And we just talked about words. I hope you're taking notes. Okay, so here's a question. What is your mind telling you about you? What is your mind telling you about you? Not somebody else, but what is your mind telling you about you? Is your mind telling you, girl, you uneducated, you didn't finish school, you country, you black, why you even try? You too old, you past 40, or you past 50, or you too young, you have too many children, you live basically you live on the wrong side of town, you've been married and divorced, nobody will ever want you. How much, listen to this. Wow. Awesome. Listen to this. How much do you listen to and create your life around what you hear? I know that's deep. It was deep when I wrote it. Again, how much of what you're hearing, that you're listening to, have you allowed to create the life around you? See, many of us have listened to our mind over and over and over, and what we're listening to is really not our mind. We're listening to what somebody spoke over us, over and over and over. If you tell someone they're dumb, they're stupid, they're ugly, they're going to believe it. And they could be the most intelligent person. You tell somebody who uneducated, who was raised in the projects, roaches everywhere, rats on food stamps. You tell them they're smart and they're intelligent and they can do whatever they want to do. Keep pressing, keep pushing. Guess what? They're going to do it. Because what they're hearing is what's been spoken. And what we hear, we speak. So if your mind is telling you a whole lot of gibberish and negativity, it's coming out of your mouth, it's coming off of your countenance. We are eradicating poverty in families. It starts in the mind. Another question. Hope y'all writing. How many times have you talked yourself out of something good? All of our hands is up. hand, feet, toes is up. How many times have you talked yourself out of something good? You probably can't even remember. I know I can't. I've talked myself out of so many opportunities. Why? We're going all the way back. Because what was spoken in my hearing, it made a deposit in my mind. And when it made a deposit in my mind, it crippled me. And it made me say, oh no, I can't do that. I can't go there. I'm not good enough. Oh, I don't have the right clothes. I'm not educated enough. I don't look like they look. I don't sound like they sound. So guess what? I didn't go that direction. I didn't leap and take that jump, that leap of faith for that opportunity because I heard the negativity in my mind that was spoken to me. So if I had jumped, or if I had been raised with more positive words and affirmations spoken over me, then I probably would have took that opportunity, and it probably would have definitely changed the trajectory of my life. I would have went a whole nother way. You would have went a whole nother way, a whole different direction. And so here's the thing. A lot of times words are spoken over us and spoken to us. We are raised in dysfunctional families, and so we think it's normal. You know why? Because if mommy and daddy are cussing each other out and beating each other upside the head and call each other dumb and stupid, then they call you and your siblings dumb and stupid. Then you go to your uncles and aunties' house and they're doing the same thing. Then you go up the street and around the corner and your grandma and grandpa doing the same thing. And then when you go over to your cousin's house, this is what everybody's doing. They're beating each other up with words. And then not only do you hear, but you see what they're doing. So you see the type of jobs that they work, and they're not going to try to get anything else. They're going to be that custodian. And there's nothing wrong with being a custodian, but if that's all you think you can do, there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that. If you think all I can do is buy me a lawnmower and just cut grass, and you never see the bigger picture that you can own a lawn company, right? That you can really hook it up outside, do landscaping. But all you think you're able to do is walk and push behind this handheld lawnmower in the heat of the day, sweating, and your lawnmower is just smoking. And you got your little, I used to see it, you got your little wire on the top of it, you rig that up, and you got your little screwdriver, and everything is rigged up. Because you don't think you could do any better because of what was spoken to you. And so in your mind is telling you, you can't do nothing better than this. Come on, y'all. We're talking about eradicating poverty in families. We're talking about dealing with this stinking thinking. Those negative words that were spoken to us and over us that nobody ever dealt with. They didn't take the words back, and they allowed us to grow up and be adults and be mothers and fathers, and nobody reversed those words. They didn't take them back. So, but I'm here today to help you to reverse that thing. To let you know that you are not the product of your parents. You're not the product of those words that were spoken over you. You're greater than that. And so even for you to even be on here today, 10/15/2020, it is your time to change your mindset. It's time for you to go to the next level in your thinking. And here's the thing. In the back of your mind, you see yourself in a greater place. You see yourself with a better job. You see yourself wearing better clothes. You see yourself in a different neighborhood, but your mind tells you you can't do it. But I'm here tonight to tell you that you can. Ask me how I know. You got to jump. And Les Brown said, you got to be hungry. You got to be hungry for your destiny and for your purpose. I hope y'all getting this. Now, we're going to talk about what is stinking thinking. I know you're probably saying, Saraphia, we just talked about that, but I want to make sure you get it. I want to make sure you get it. I want to make sure that you think about those negative words that you've been pondering over and over and over and over, year after year, day after day, month after month, hour after hour, second after second. I want you to be retransformed. The word of God said, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So this is day one. We're starting today. We got 30 days to get this stinking thinking out, right? It's a process. Because the words that were spoken to us, it didn't happen overnight. And matter of fact, it didn't even have effect on us immediately. We kept hearing it and hearing it and hearing it. And once we kept hearing it, we began to believe it. So, if you kept hearing the negativity and you begin to believe it, now you got to hear the positiveness and start believing it. It's not too late for you. It's not too late for me, and it's not too late for you. What is stinking thinking? When negative thinking becomes harmful. Everything I just spoke about is harmful. Because it puts brakes on our destiny. It puts brakes on our purpose. It stagnates us. It makes us feel unworthy. That's harmful. We can't walk in our best ability. And I found this on Google. And so, what is stinking thinking? Experiencing negative thoughts all the time is bad for people, right? Stinking thinking can be used to refer to any type of negativity. It is a widely used term in 12-step groups, where it is used to describe people who have reverted to old patterns of thinking. It makes sense. You get in a different atmosphere, but you go back to the negative. You get around positive people who seem like, oh man, they got it going on. I want that. Oh no, I can't do that. And you go back because those words begin to be louder in your ear than this purpose or this thing that you want to grab hold of. But your mind is telling you, oh no, you can't do that. You're not good enough. Remember what mom said. Remember what dad said. Remember what the teacher said. You cannot do that. You cannot have that. Old patterns over and over and over and over. And then the next thing you know, you look up, you're 45, you're 55, you're 65. And you didn't accomplish anything that you really wanted to do. Even though on the inside of you, there are some great dreams. But you say, no, I can't do that. Who told you you couldn't do it? Words, negative words, told you you couldn't do it. But you can. Eradicating poverty in families. It starts in the mind. So right now, what am I doing? I'm uprooting, dismantling, wiping out, disengaging the negative speaking and the negative thoughts right now. Because before we can even tackle eradicating poverty, we got to tackle and eradicate this mindset, this negative mindset, this stinking thinking. Because guess what? People who don't uproot or wipe out or destroy the negative thinking, and they go and receive something such as a financial breakthrough. We hear it all the time. People hit the lottery, and then you're like, oh my God, that's so much money. But guess what? We hear in a few months to a year, they're back broke. They're back broke. Because that stinking thinking, that mentality, poor man's mentality, it never left. So what did they do? They went and spent it up on everything that they thought they deserved. Now, I never hit the lottery, but I've had some money, and I spent it. Because in my mind, at that time, in my mind, it was like, I don't know when I'll get this money again. So let me get the things that I want now. And so I would always spend up my money and wouldn't have anything. And there's a chapter in my book I'm talking about, where's my receipt? It got so bad for me. Hello, because we eradicating poverty in family. So that means I got to be transparent. It got so bad for me that I began to save my receipts. And I would only purchase things in places where I knew that they would take the receipt to get a refund. Because in my mind, I didn't never want to be broke. So even though I bought something I really, really wanted, in my mind, it wasn't mine. Because when that dark moment came, and it was coming, when I needed something, when I needed food or when I needed gas in my car, whatever I needed, that day was coming. And I knew at that time, because I had issues going on in my body and I wasn't able to really hold a job like I wanted to, this was my backup. Hold on to the receipt, girl, so you can have some kind of money. It was a mindset. Spending all your money, a lot of people, you got to think about it. When you just blowing money, you know, as they say, keep up with the Joneses. I never understood that. I'm a Jones, and we were struggling. I don't know what Joneses y'all trying to keep up with, but I hope it ain't the Joneses I've been with. Because we were struggling. Whole lot of negative words spoken. Whole lot of dysfunction. So I don't know who these Joneses are. But poverty mentality will make you spend up everything just to fit in, just to look the part, look like you got it going on. Dealing with stinking thinking. Next one, I hope you're writing this down. We need to transform our mind. We need to reprogram. You have to reprogram your mind. A person that's been in an abusive relationship, a person that's been in emotional abuse, a person that's been raised in dysfunction, and you just heard all this negative. Even in school, once your parents or your siblings spoke the negative, then maybe it wasn't your parents. Maybe it was a teacher. Maybe it was classmates. Maybe it was you. You just begin to just think, I'm not good enough. I can't do that. Well, today, I'm telling you, you got to reprogram your mind. We have to replace negative with positive. We have to change people, places, and things. Oh, I probably hit a nerve when I said change people. You got to change people. People that are not speaking life to you. People that don't see your dreams that you see, that you get excited about. They're sucking the life out of you. If they don't see the greatness that you see, or they don't support you or excited about what you're excited about, especially when you're like, oh my God, I can see myself writing a book. I can see myself owning a daycare, whatever it is. And they're speaking negative every time you speak something positive. Oh, you need to remove them. You need to eradicate them. Disengage. changing places. Listen, I was raised in the hood. Many of us was raised in the hood. Raised in low income, with low income, food stamps, HUD, CCMSI, all of that. Not ever thinking, you can get better or do better. To get out the hood, to get out of a poverty stricken mindset, to get out of a poor man mentality, pinto bean mentality. Listen, some people that we was raised with and hung out with in the hood, they don't want to come out. Your best friend, they don't want to come out. And guess what? They're keeping you in. Because they're constantly speaking negative stuff every time you speak something positive. Every time you see yourself in a better place. Every time you see yourself in a better neighborhood, doing better. Guess what they're doing? They're raining on your parade. They're coming against everything that you're saying. Even family. Sometimes you just got to say, hey, I love y'all, but you got to love them afar, especially when they're constantly speaking negativity over you and not life. You got to change people, places, and things. One thing I wrote down was, when you want better, you do better, right? Some things I did, and it helps. Even if you're living in the hood and you can't get out, or even if you're on Section 8 and you can't get out just yet, but you have hope and you have a desire and you see yourself in a better place, you see yourself purchasing your house, you see yourself in a different neighborhood, you envision it. Well, listen, my brother, my sister, the first step you got to do to help this negativity and to help change your view of what you see every day. People hanging out, smoking, pants hanging down, drinking. You got to see something different. So something that I did is I began to ride in different neighborhoods that I desired I wanted to be in. I began to ride in the neighborhoods where the big old houses were, and I love landscapes. I love the yards, really nice yards, and the bushes and the flowers, and just being cut real nice, and the sidewalks that curve up, or the driveway that when you drive in, you drive all the way around. So I began to drive in neighborhoods that look like that, because I had to change my negative thinking. I had to see something different. And sometimes you got to leave your neighborhood and go to the place, that neighborhood you want to be in, right? Another thing, you want to go to this neighborhood, and you need, your mind needs to say something different. So sometimes go to the grocery store in that other neighborhood, that more upscale neighborhood. Maybe you've been going to Walmart in the hood. Go to Walmart, because I'm in Houston, I'll say, go to Walmart in the Woodlands. Go to Walmart in, Cypress. Go somewhere where the scenery gives you life, where the scenery speaks to you every time you go, where it makes you shrug your shoulders back and walk with your head up. So go to those grocery stores, go to the restaurant. Okay, if you like McDonald's, go to the McDonald's in a nice neighborhood. Go to the bougie McDonald's. You like Whataburger, Chick-fil-A, Papa Do's, whatever it is that you like. Go in that neighborhood where it's more upscale. Dress yourself up, or just ride, because you're changing your mindset. You're changing as you see it, because we're visual people, right? Oh my God, When you begin to look, it begins to speak to you. It's just like when you see the negative stuff, the ugly stuff, the homeless people, the guy with his pants hanging down, and visual. It does something to you, right? Go to these other areas. It will do something for you, right? Eradicating poverty in families. And tonight, our first night of our 30-day teaching, we're changing. What is our mind saying? Changing a stinking thinking. Here's a big one. All of these are big. But let me tell you, I dropped out of school in the 9th grade. And I always could read. I loved to read. Now, I couldn't probably pronounce words like everybody else. But I struggled real bad in math. As I got older, math, I just struggled. And because I didn't get the foundation, like the basics of the math. And so I struggled, right? And I tried college. It's like me in college just wasn't working. Because some of us, we process things different. And because I'm a very creative person. And so I'm easily bored. And I found that out as I got older. But I'm easily bored. And so if you got to catch my attention span, or I just, I'm going somewhere else. I'm going to be doodling, something. Bathroom break, eat some snacks, something, right? But as I've grown and as I have changed my mindset, educating myself, not necessarily meaning I have to go to college, but what does that mean? I'm going to help you to reprogram your thinking, okay? The Word of God does say, whether you saved or not, whether you know God or not, this is what the words say. People perish for the lack of knowledge. And we say it with a cliche and we just let it roll off our tongue. But listen, I was perishing. I knew the word somewhat, but I never educated myself in nothing else. If you're an entrepreneur, if you want to, do photography, you want to write a book, you want to start a baking company, whatever it is you want to do, you have to educate yourself. And a lot of times we don't make it because we jump without getting an education. Ask me how I know. I just knew that I wanted to do something and I was just excited and had all this energy, but I didn't have enough money. But if I had educated myself, I would have been able to know how to use the money that I had and not lost what I had, but made it multiply. So, what I want to encourage you on tonight, read books. Read. Remember when we were little, they had the reading rainbow. Listen, read. Find you a book of interest. Read something that interests you. That's going to begin to get your juices flowing up here. Our brain needs to be fed. And if you're just sitting in front of TV, sitting on Facebook or whatever, it's not going to help. It's not going to help you. Watching what everybody else is doing. As we seeing them flourish, they educated themselves. They got their training. They invested in themselves. They invested in their mind. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about investing in your mind? We always say, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. But you never hear anybody say, I'm going to invest in my mind. Think about that. We need to invest in our mind. Keep this mind renewed by reading. And if you don't want to read, I like paper books. I love books. Matter of fact, so I'm reading my book, Eradicating the Spirit of Poverty in Families. But you got to read books that help you transform your thinking from poverty to prosperity. Okay? I follow this guy, this book, and he's been telling the same story over and over. You got to be hungry. You got to be hungry for whatever it is that you want. Wherever you see yourself going, you got to be hungry for it. And when you're hungry, you educate your mind. You read. You master your craft. See, it took me years to find that out. I kept starting and stopping. Started up, it fall down. Start up, it fall down. Because I don't have enough education. And I'm not saying go to college. Some of us I wasn't wired. Me in college, I got a big debt. But I've learned way more just getting books, going to the library, Kindle books, even audio books, word games, word puzzles. You gotta keep it flowing, keep it going, because what we're doing is pushing out the negative words and we're bringing in the positive words. We won't go after something that we don't know, right? If you know there's wealth or there's oil over there because you didn't research it, if you know there's good money in being a lawyer or a doctor or a dance teacher or whatever, if you know it, you're going to run after it. But the only way we're going to really know it thoroughly is we have to read about it. Okay? If it's audio books, a regular book, a Kindle book, we have to listen. I listen to a lot of videos on YouTube. Les Brown. Right now, I've been connected with a millionaire. I'm so excited. I'm going to share that with you at the end. But Antonio T. Smith, he wrote a book called The Richest Man in the Trash Can. And listen, people such as Antonio T. Smith Jr., who lived in a trash can from age 6, age 6, and he became a millionaire in his 20s. It can happen. He has a book. Les Brown has a book. I have a book. Miles Monroe has plenty of books. And not only do all of us, because I have YouTube videos too, probably not as much as they do, but they have YouTube videos as well. That while you're riding, while you're sleeping, you are transforming your mind, getting rid of the negative thoughts. I'm going to say it again. Invest in your mind. Invest in your mind. Invest in your mind. It's an investment. I didn't know that for a long, long time. But I know now. And guess what? Sometimes investing in your mind is free. You can go to the library. What is it? I'm about to read Antonio. Matter of fact, encouraged us to read also, not only just his book, but Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Get the book. It's at the library. Some stuff you don't even have to buy. Some stuff it's on YouTube. They're teaching on it. Educate your mind. I started to sing something else, but I ain't gonna go there with y'all. All right. So I hope that the teachings have helped. So I'm gonna challenge you. Okay. We always need a challenge. We always need an accountability partner, right? So I can be your accountability partner for the next 30 days. And then you connect with somebody else to be an accountability partner, okay? So listen. So all that I just spoke and talked about, us eradicating the spirit of poverty, but first we got to deal with our mind, right? So here's a couple of things I'm going to suggest for you to do. Pick one thing. Oh, let me go back. Hold on. Put some brakes on it. My book, Eradicating the Spirit of Poverty. At the back of the book, there is a 21-day journal. Okay? So if you do order the book, there's a 21-day journal that you can write for 21 days. In 21 days, you can transform or you can change a habit. You can break a habit and start a new habit in 21 days. And it's good to write about it, right? So you can write out the process and then see your end result. Even at the end, it says, whoop, you made it. So pick one thing you will do for 21 days. Write about the process of it for 21 days, okay? That's the first thing. Second thing, for the next 30 days, okay? Because today is day 1 for our 30 days. For the next 30 days, save, put aside once a week, twice a week, however you get it. If it's once a week, then do it. Put away $5 a week or $10 a week, whatever you can afford. Some of you can afford to do $20 a week. I don't know. But put that aside and don't touch it, okay? Because what I've learned is in order to eradicate our stinking thinking, we have to be consistent. And the consistency is where the 21 days come in at. The consistency comes, for me, another level of consistency is me being here with you for the next 30 days. Yeah. We got to train our minds and our bodies to do things even when we don't want to do it. Also, the next 30 days. Now listen, this goes back to everything that we've talked about. The next 30 days, when you hear your mind, not everybody else's mind, but your mind. When you hear your mind speaking negative to you, I want you to do something. Don't agree. Do not agree with your stinking thinking. Do not agree with your negative thoughts. But what I want you to do is speak the opposite of what it's saying. If it said, girl, you broke, you said, I'm wealthy, I'm prosperous, I got money coming. When your mind tell you, you tired, no, I'm rejuvenated, I'm full of energy. When your mind tell you, girl, you can't make it, you can't do no more, you tired, you broke, busted, and disgusted. You got to tell your mind, no, I'm not tired. I'm just now getting started. Money coming. Money coming. Even if you want to do it in an act of faith and start checking the mailbox, you start speaking positive affirmations to yourself. And as we go, I will have some affirmations for us to speak just to get you started, right? What else? Oh, these are some good ones. I hope you're writing these notes down. Here's the next one. Within the next 30 days, because we're breaking a cycle, right? We're breaking negative thinking. We're coming out of this poverty mindset. And when you doing something, when you eradicate is an action word. It's an action word. You can't uproot nothing unless you do something. You can't disengage just sitting there. It's an action word. So you got to do something. right? So within the next 30 days, drive in that neighborhood that you never drove in before, but you want to live in. You think about it. You dream about it. You probably got a vision board about it. Go in that neighborhood more than once in this next 30 days. Number 2, go to a restaurant in that neighborhood that you thought you could never live in, or that neighborhood you desire to live in, but your negative thinking or your vision of how you see yourself and how you see where you live is telling you, girl, you can't go in that neighborhood. Or you looking at your car and you're like, I don't have the best car. You better drive. You better drive. Fix yourself up and just drive around in that neighborhood. Go sit in a restaurant. Go to Applebee's in that neighborhood. If you're a McDonald's girl, go to McDonald's. Go to the bougie McDonald's, whatever. But go in that neighborhood. And do this, if you can, at least once a week, right? Because we want to be repetitive, okay? You don't want to go one time. What's that going to do for you if you go one time? You got to continue to see it. You got to continue to be in that atmosphere. You got to continue to see what that feels like. Because it's going to begin to speak to your mind. And you're going to begin to yearn for it. Right? Go to the grocery store, honey. Go to the grocery store in that neighborhood. Your H-E-B, your Kroger, Sprouts, Whole Foods. Go in that neighborhood that you desire to live in. Go shop in the store. Just take your time and shop. What else? Oh, listen to this. Now, listen to me loud and clear. Before you do any of those things that I just mentioned, are you listening? I need you to do 2 things. First, tell yourself, yes, I can have better, and yes, I will. Why are we doing that? Because you're speaking to your mind. You're speaking to that negative thought that's sitting somewhere over here. You're hushing it. You're telling it to shut up and stop talking to you. And you're saying, yes, I can go over there. Yes, I can have that. And once you speak it, and once you begin to drive and go in that neighborhood or go in that grocery store or go and get you some food, whichever one you choose, you can do all 3 of them. This right here, you have to do. This last thing I'm going to tell you, you have to do this every day. This is something that tormented me for years. It tormented me for years when I would get in places where people had money or seemed like they were more educated and they looked better than me, and they walk with your head up. Rear your shoulders back. Walk with confidence and walk like you know you belong. Don't walk with your head down, shoulders drop. No. Walk with your head up. Own your space. Own that moment and see yourself there. Because when we walk with our head up, guess what's happening? Our mind, positive thoughts are flowing, are racing in our mind. When we walk up, it's easy to smile. When we walk up, it's easy to look somebody else in the eye that we thought we'd never look in the eye, because we didn't feel that we met that requirement. So on tonight, this was our first night. I hope you enjoyed the teaching. So this was our first night of the 30 days. teaching on eradicating the spirit of poverty in families. So let me tell you something. Remember earlier when I was telling you I educate my mind, educate, and invest in your mind? Well, I'm on another level. I'm on another level. I done jumped on a whole nother train. It's probably the Amtrak because it's moving kind of fast. And I like the way it's moving. So I want to share with you this opportunity. And I'm going to share this for 30 days. And I'm hoping that you catch it. Okay? So remember earlier when I was talking about the millionaire Antonio T. Smith Jr.? Well, this is lunch week. And he launched a university that I am a part of. Now, I know earlier I said I can't do college and me and college don't work. But listen, this college is perfect for somebody like me and probably perfect for somebody like you too. To me, it's created for that person who don't want to just work that 9 to 5 and who's waiting for retirement, that in this time it probably won't even be any retirement. Somebody that knows there's more. Somebody that knows that they need more education, they need more training, but we know that some of the things that we need, it costs. It costs. So I was introduced to ATS University. And when I tell you it is already transforming me, as you can tell, I know you can tell. So this university, like I said, this is lunch week. And you can come into this university without paying a dime. And we have freshman level, sophomore level, junior level, and senior level. I came in at freshman level in the beginning and just started listening. And when I came in at freshman level, I didn't pay a dime. And I was being trained and taught, schooled on how to create a product. And so there are videos that I can listen to these videos any time of day or night. And the beautiful thing about this is once we join ATS University, it's a lifetime. It's a lifetime that you're there getting the education that you need. And so I want to share with you that on this week, like I said, is lunch week up until Sunday. It's been lunch week all week. And what does lunch week mean? It means that, like I said, I came in as a freshman and I think I got 11 classes. This week, lunch week, we are, because of lunch week, we are giving you an upgrade to senior class. Senior class is $59.99. But for the rest of this week, if you want to join the ATS University, it's $19.99. And listen, you know how sometimes people or companies give you a promotion and they say, well, do this for 14 days, a 14-day free trial, and then it's $69.95 or whatever. What I love about lunch week, and I came in this week, I was so excited. So I left freshman and jumped to senior. Who does that overnight? You can do that at ATS. And so instead of paying $59.95, I came in at $19.95. What does that mean? That means I get a buku, a load of classes, a load of training. And so some of the classes that I'm very much interested in is branding yourself, personal branding. If you're an entrepreneur, you're a minister, or whatever it is that you do, and you want to know how to brand and not break the bank, there's a class, personal branding. Then there's also a class, they have cash flow marketing. We need to know how to market. Sales funnels. Everybody's using sales funnels. You need to know how to use the sales funnels, right? So listen, on my page, just go on my page. There's a link. You're going to see it. You're going to see it several times. There's a link on my page that you can click the link. And once you click that link, there's more information. If you want to join ATS University, you can come in as freshmen. What does that mean? You don't pay a dime. You don't pay a dime. Okay? So you can sign up. Go to my page, and you're going to see a link. And with that link, you're also going to see a phone number. Text that phone number, and the team will get back with you. They will get back with you and talk to you and let you know about ATS University. And on tomorrow, I will put the link up for you so that you can have easy access to the link. Like I said, it's a buku of classes that it's over 30,000. No, 30,000 worth of classes in freshman, but like $80,000 worth of classes with the senior. Okay, so I'm excited because I know in this next 30 days, I'm not going to look the same. My Facebook page is not going to look the same. My business is not going to look the same. Nothing is going to look the same because of the training. And if you're interested, DM me, because every morning at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, we are on Zoom with Mr. Antonio T. Smith. He is talking to us. He's pouring into us. He's mentoring us, because guess what? He desires. This is why he started the ATS University. His first mindset is to serve. To serve. If your heart is to serve the community, to give back, then ATS is for you. Mr. Antonio T. Smith Jr., the richest man in the trash can. He was in the trash can from age 6 until, I believe, 17, and then he was adopted. But in his 20s, he became a millionaire. And right now, he's teaching us the trick of the trade. He's giving us information you can't get anywhere. No university will give it to you. So if you want more information, like I said, Arthur Serafia Jones Hall, you're on my page. Click the link. Scroll through my page. Another thing, you can go on YouTube. You can go on Google. Look him up, and you'll see what I'm talking about. In 2020, God has connected me with a millionaire, and he's mentoring me and others. And I would hope that you would take the same opportunity. Not only are we getting mentored, but we're being educated and we're being trained for success. It's 10:30. I hope that you have enjoyed the teaching on tonight. Again, if you want to, if you desire, you can order my book, Eradicating the Spirit of Poverty in Families. And you can use this book as we go as a guide for the next 30 days. And like I said, there is a 21-day journal at the back of the book that you can begin to use. I hope that this first day of teaching, I hope that you grab a hold of some nuggets. And I hope to see you on here tomorrow. If you know someone that's struggling, poverty mentality, negativity, make sure you let them know that I'll be back on tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Thank you so much for joining me on tonight. See you tomorrow night at 9:30. If you just came on, hey, Minister Jonathan, if you just came on, please go back and watch the replay. God bless you all. Good night.